Well, happy post-Turkey Day, everybody. I'm assuming everybody's recovering from their food comas that you had last week. I hope so, and I hope you had a blessed Thanksgiving and got to spend it with families and whatnot. So I'm just going to start off this meeting by saying this is going to be a very short meeting, depending on you all. There's only two of us presenting today. We don't have, due to some technical difficulties and whatnot, we don't have any call-in questions today, but I will open it up at the end. For those of you who are watching online, if you have questions, you can contact myself over at the, just call me at my office or whatever. I'll be happy to answer them as best as I can. But with that being said, Jerry's not here today. Our pastoral care team isn't here today. So it's really Lori presenting, myself, and sandwiched in between us. It's the elections for the Resident Executive Council. So with that being said, let's start with prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for gathering us here today. We thank you for this place called Lutheran Haven. We thank you for your providence and your care that you've shown us for 75 years, and we pray for that providence and care to continue for 75 and more. Father, as we gather here today, as we come into the Advent season, help us to gather around, Father, in fellowship and in community with one another, realizing the hope that we have in the coming birth of Christ, and that's the reason for this Advent season. So, Father, bless our meeting today and our time together. May it be peaceful, may it be amicable, and may it be to your glory, Father. And all this we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, with that being said, I'm going to put on my pastoral care hat today and play Pastor Elliot and Deaconess Emily to some degree. And you see there's one slide up here, and this is all they wanted me to tell you about. I don't have any other information, but here it is. They are planning a Haven retreat for our residents coming up on Wednesday, February 28th, 2024, and the theme is Anchored. Now what? So I tried to pry a little bit more information out of them, but they wouldn't share it. They wanted to pique your interest with that, get you to thinking about what that may be. And there will be coming information coming out probably towards the later part of this month in more detail on what they're planning for you all. So that's being planned by our pastoral care team, and they wanted me to relay that to you. So if you have any questions, Pastor Elliot actually gets back into town, I think, on the 6th, which is next week. So you can reach out to him, and I think Deaconess Emily will be back tomorrow. All right, with that being said, Lori? Well, that was half of the battle, right? That's pretty quick. There you go. Yep. Oh, yeah, that would help. I was going to take the clicker and give you the mic.
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, so Christmas lights with transportation. I know originally it was said on the scroll that you need to sign up with me outside of activities. Well, that has been changed, so all you need to do is call transportation and they will get you on the list. So no need to sign up here. There are no sign-up sheets. Just call transportation and they will get you on the list. So for the ALF, the assistant living, their transportation, they'll take them on Monday, the 11th, ECC on the 18th, and then the cottages and landings will be on the 12th, the 14th, the 19th, and the 21st. So again, call transportation to get added to the list. Our movie this month will be Miracle on 34th Street, 1:30 on the 13th, Wednesday. On the 15th will be our staff Christmas party. So Fellowship Hall will be closed between 1:30 and 3:30. So we can celebrate all of our staff employees at that time. The resident Christmas party will be held Saturday, the 16th. And everyone should have gotten flyers in their mail boxes or their phone boxes. And it looks like this. It will be Christmas around the world with small hors d'oeuvres and desserts. Very, very important. Please, this is a ticketed event. Please pick up a ticket starting tomorrow. Tomorrow, not today. Tomorrow, 9 o'clock, after 9. I'll get your ticket. You'll sign a form. Just in case you lose it, I'll have your name on the list. So please, you need a ticket for food. We seem to run out of food lately because people don't pick up tickets. So we want to prepare for everyone, let everyone eat this year. So again, tickets are mandatory. Town hall meeting, which we don't have in December. We are going to do something different. I know in the past we have had golf cart parades, we've had skits where the staff will put together. So this year we're going to do something different. We're going to have a cookie party where we're going to ask the residents and staff to bake some goodies. You can bring them over here the day of. We'll have tables set up. I do have a sign-up sheet for anyone who wishes to bake cookies, just so that I know we have enough. Just let me know how many you're going to bring, 1 batch, 2 batches. It's fine, I'll take whatever. And then we're also going to have some reindeer games. Staff against the residents. So some of the games that we will be playing will be Family Feud. We'll do a partridge in a pear tree, and I'm not going to go into detail now. I'm going to let you know they are all easy games. They're not hard. You're going to have a lot of fun. So partridge in a pear tree. We have 6 geese a-laying, musical ornament, and again, Family Feud. So I do have sign-up sheets on the table in the back here. I'm looking for volunteers to sign up, staff against the residents. And then I'm asking all managers if you can allow your staff to come over at that time as well so they can participate in the games. Bingo on the 27th will be Michigan. And Friday, our birthday luncheon will be at Miller's Ale House. Sign-up sheet will go out tomorrow as well. And then, last but not least, our Smoky Mountains trip is still going on. I have about 24 residents signed up right now. We're looking for at least 6 more to go. I'm sorry, I have 26. I need 4 more to at least go, but I'll accept anybody who would like to go. Smoky Mountains. Okay, any questions for me? Okay.
Put it on the next slide. You all thought that November 7th was supposed to be election day in here, and that ended up being a veto elections. But we have election day of our own today. It's a resident executive council, so I'm going to hand the mic over to Larry Collins.
Thank you.
I'll put your next slide there.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Larry Collins. I'm the lame duck president of the Executive Council. And I'm lame duck because of 2 things. Number 1, this is my last official act as president of the Executive Council. Number 2, I got a shot in my eye this morning. And so if I mess up a little bit, please excuse me. I have to keep this eye shut. Normally, the vice president is in charge of elections, but since he is one of the people being voted on today, the president normally takes the job of conducting the election. So, Dwayne Mazzell, we do have a slate of candidates. Dwayne Mazzell is listed as president. Gordon Neruda, vice president. The Area 1 representative, Gerald Rankin. Area 2 rep, Richard Kleister. And Area 4 representative, Ron Pomeroy. Now, that is our slate at the present time. We will allow you to make nominations from the floor if you have first checked with the person that you want to nominate from your area, and if they are here to accept the nomination. So, does anybody want to nominate anybody?
Just some
Let's see. Yeah. Richard, are you here? He's in the back. Okay. All right. Anything else? All right. If nobody wants to nominate anybody, I'll accept a motion to accept the slate as presented. We have a motion on the floor. Second? Second. Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? All right. You have just elected your new representatives and officers for the Executive Council. Having concluded our elections, I'll hand this over to Dwayne, our president soon to be.
Thank you, Larry. I'd like to, at this time, ask those people who have been serving on the Executive Council for the past several years, one, to stand and be acknowledged for your service. So if you are here and you've been serving on the board, yes, please stand up. Thank you. All right. I would then like to ask those who are newly elected, like Pastor Rankin, Richard Kleister, to please stand up and be acknowledged. Thank you very much. And just so that they can coast out on their term of service, we have a small token to remember your service by, of a coaster from Lutheran Haven. So Larry, coast into that retirement. Mary Ellen. All right. And who was our other? Penny, right. Is Penny here? Penny Brown? No? Okay, I'll get it to Penny. So thank you very much. We look forward to serving all of you and making Lutheran Haven the place we love to be. Thank you. Raleigh?
If only all of our elections could be that smooth. Very nice. And again, thank you, Larry and Mary Ellen and Penny and everybody who served on those committees. It is a joy to as a staff member to be on those councils and to work in conjunction with our residents, because that's really truly what makes us a special place. All right. So in keeping with our theme of trying to get out of here on time, just go through some project updates for you. I think, most everything you can see is in motion. I'll start with the Aquatic Center. You can see the big hole out back. They have been working furiously. They even worked on Thanksgiving Day on the Aquatic Center. Basically, what they've done now is, as of last week, is they poured the gunite. Gunite is a type of wet concrete that's easily shaped and whatnot, easy to work with. It's very common in pools. You will not see any work probably this week and part of next week out there, and you're probably going, oh, we're waiting on permitting again, which would be the natural conclusion given what we're up against with the county. But no, that's not actually the case. When you pour gunite, you got to wait a couple weeks for it to cure before you can do anything else. So it's got to sit and cure for a while. And once that curing process is over with, then they'll be back out doing their work again on that. So the contractor is very ambitious, and I'm always hesitant to share dates with you, but as they give them to me, I'll try to give them to you. They're targeting February 28th completion date. Their contract was 120 days from start to finish once everything got rolling. So 28th of February of 2024, yes. Very fair point. You are very astute, Yolanda, yes. Of 2024, yeah. Yeah, you notice how I don't put years on anything anymore, right? So we're looking at February 2024 for them to be done with their work. So And somebody brought up we had a building and landscape committee meeting earlier today, and somebody brought up the point, well, you've been talking about there's two companies, one for the pool, one for the cabana. Will that include the cabana? I'm going to say probably yes on that, because honestly, the pool company is finished when the deck is poured, and they can't pour the deck, or the cabana can't go up unless the deck's been poured with the footers in it. So that all has to happen in conjunction with one another, which tells me that the cabana contractor is pretty close to, if not already having their permit. I wasn't here last week for the last week's project meetings, which we have every Wednesday, but the week before they had resubmitted for their permitting. So I'm going to, and I got this date last week, so I'm going to assume that they had gotten their permit on that. So that's what we're looking at with the pool. Duke Energy had set a power pedestal out back, and if you remember, we were talking in previous months, that power pedestal was laid in a three-phase power so that it could run power to the new cabana, to the wood shop, and the village shop in order to take the overhead lines down. Okay, and so they put the pedestal in, but what has to happen now is when it gets to the phase for the electrical contractor for the pool to run his stuff, he's actually the one that's got to run the underground lines from the pedestal to those buildings. So I have to wait for the phase for him to get started on his work, which is all contingent upon when that cabana goes in, because that's where all the electrical stuff is going. So once that happens and the underground lines go in off that pedestal, within 72 hours, Duke will be out to hook that circuit up from their end and take the overhead lines down. And then we have no overhead lines out there by our pool, finally. And no contractors taking them out either. With the ALF renovation, most of the interior work is completed. They've been working fast and furious on punch-out items in those rooms. I got to walk when the board was here, and it really looks phenomenal down there. It's bright. It's airy. It doesn't look institutional. You won't even recognize it when you go down there now, the wonderful work that's being done in there. But I can't take you all in there because I don't have a certificate of occupancy, because we're still, county, there's that word, trying to remediate that roof issue. So right before I went on Thanksgiving break, I had requested our owner's rep reach out to the contractor and give us a price for undoing what they did so we can put the metal roof decking down and meet the county requirements and get rolling, because we're at a tipping point now. As of this morning, our current ALF facility is slap full. And we have a wait list for the ALF already, the other side. But we can't do anything with it until we get that building open. So we're doing everything we can to remediate that issue. All right, mailboxes. You see them going up, right? They look great. They've been stuccoed, painted. Actually, on the next slide that I'll show you, you'll see what they look like with all the lighting on them now, too. It's pretty bright. If you haven't been out at night and seen them when they're lit up, it pretty much rivals the LEDs that Duke Energy put in along the street. So it kind of takes some of those dark areas out. Right now, we're currently working with the postmaster, which is almost as tough as working with the county, trying to get the setup with the new mailboxes in place to make sure that the way that the guy routes his mail, when he delivers the mail, is all set up concurrent with how it's currently set up, if that makes sense. Because all those have to be in a certain diagram order based on street addresses and all that. So we're getting that right with them now. Now, with that being said, the final phase is going to be the parking spots that they're requiring us to put in. Okay, and what we don't know as of this moment, but I've asked the question, is once these mailbox structures are done, will the county allow us to demo the old mailboxes and use these before the parking areas go in? Or are they going to make us wait until we're completely done with the parking areas? Huh? No. No, and notice I didn't give any date on this one either. Year or date. So that's where we stand with the mailbox structures, but let me show you. That's kind of what they look like lit up at night. So, close the blinds, yeah. But yeah, I mean that'll help lighten some of those darkened areas on Fountain and over on Chipmunk where the structures are at. So they're coming along pretty nicely. All right, I'm going to get to the Lutheran Haven 75th artwork. This is pretty cool. I hope you all were able to attend that 75th celebration a couple weeks ago. It was a wonderful event. There was a lot of good stuff that went on. A lot of hands went into putting all that together. I want to mention one person who oftentimes goes a lot unnoticed, and she's probably going to kill me in a second for doing this to her, but I can't help it. She put all the programs together, did all the decorating over there. Well, 99% of the decorating, but most of that. Coordinated all the lists, put all this work together, and that's your activities coordinator, Lori Baker. So give her a round of applause because she did a wonderful job. It's well deserved. One of the things that Mary Ann did, our foundation coordinator, was she had lined up a painter, an artist, to be here for this. And if you got to see the live painting going on, which is really cool to watch Jesus come to life, it was really cool. And this artist has commissioned a few pieces of artwork for this that he will sign. And we're going to auction those off. Well, I wouldn't say auction, wrong word, not auction. You have an opportunity. There's a limited number of these editions. You have an opportunity to purchase one of these signed prints or signed designs, right, Mary Ann? And if you have any questions, you can see Mary Ann about that. Get your orders in now. Make a great Christmas gift. Make a great Christmas gift, all right? But let me show you some things I want to point out here. That was the final painting, all right? And this is kind of unique. If you were first time looking at this, what might you think? Oh, it's another picture of Jesus. It's wonderful. Yeah, I know it's a little stretched out. It's not representative, but when you try to blow it up so everybody can see it on the TV screen, it kind of gets distorted a little bit. But what you don't know or may not know is that there were several things that went into this picture. So this picture is actually like, 4-in-1, basically. The painting's underneath of it, but let me show you how the artist arose at this. You'll notice down on the bottom of the screen, you can see what looks like water. This is how he started painting. He has the water in there. And then he painted the dove. And then he painted the cross. And then with his hands, he created the hands of Jesus. I mean, if you see how he's pulling his fingers out and he's manipulating all this paint with his hands, right? You can see the different phases. But when you got to the last picture, you saw Jesus, but you don't necessarily notice the rest of these things, but they're all there. And the whole idea and the creation behind Keith Goodson, and he's such a wonderful, inspired artist, was that, Mary Ann gave him all these ideas of what, the Haven was and the 75th and all these things. And he kind of embraced that and he kind of formed this in his head as he painted this picture. And, as he's doing all this, Jesus is doing what? He's wrapping creation in his arms. And at the end, what's the final metamorphosis, as Mary Ann puts it? It's Jesus. It's the Lord of creation, the King of creation. And you think about that, though, there is an implied message behind what he did here, too. There's a metamorphosis of the Lutheran Haven in the last 75 years. A lot of metamorphosis and what we came from and what we are today. But who's holding it all together? Jesus. And that's what makes us the community that we are. So again, you'll have these prints are available. They're limited. Get with Mary Ann as soon as you possibly can and buy one. All the proceeds here go towards our benevolent care fund. And I want to mention something else. This artwork, these limited editions were made possible by a couple of donors. One who absolutely wishes to remain anonymous, but the other one is our very own Reverend Dr. Lyle Mueller and his wife Marlene. What a wonderful, generous gift that they gave to us. So get with Mary Ann. I think she has some order forms in the back there. You can see her after the meeting. Okay? Lastly, I want to hit on something that Lori said earlier about the tickets and the reason why we do the tickets, just to back her up on this. Right? We do the tickets for our events because we need to know how much food to order, right? And how much drink to provide and everything. We want you to bring your friends. It's okay, bring your family, your friends, even if they're not a part of the community, but plan ahead. Okay, so if you go to get your tickets, plan ahead about how many people might come and get that many tickets so that we know how many to order for, okay? Because we want to provide for everybody and have everybody to eat. But as Lori said, the last few events, we've run out of food. And it's kind of like, oh, geez, you know? So make sure that you account for that if and when you get your tickets from Lori. All right. Any other items? No, look at that. It's the mad question time. Yes, Hank. Yes.
And I think it's on YouTube?
Yes, that's what my understanding is as well.
And how do we search for that?
Do you know that answer, Marianne?
Yeah. You know what I can do? I can post it on the scroll.
Marianne can post a link for that video on the scroll. Okay? There. Thank you. That answers that one. All right. Yes, Marilyn.
Where's the original going to be posted?
Aha. Good call. Where's the original going to be posted? Well, it's in the works. We have a couple of ideas right now, and we're trying to wrap our heads around where the best place to put that would be, because we want to put it somewhere that's not going to get damaged, obviously. So we're trying to come up with, right now, this is kind of cool. Right now, it's hanging in the HR office so that when Edwin does his interviews and somebody's lying, they can look right over at Jesus. That helps us weed out all kinds of candidates right off the bat. Other questions? Okay, one last item to share with you. The Rotary Club, this Wednesday night, you might have seen it in the scroll, and I know what you're going to say. Oh, it's Advent services, okay? The Rotary Club is doing what they call the Christmas Island over here in front of the ALF on Wednesday night, and they're doing it from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. They're going to have baked goods, not to buy, but for you to consume. Hot chocolate. I'm told that there may be a bagpiper there. They have wrapped the trees in front of the island, and they're going to plug those in for the first time and light everything up. And they're doing a luminary around that circle over there. Now, I reached out to them. I said, you realize that's the beginning of our Advent season, and many of us have church services that night. And they were originally going to go from 6 to 8, but they couldn't move it. So we got them at least to extend it from 6 to 9. So pop by at any time you might get a chance. We're encouraging our ALF residents to come out and enjoy it as well. And we might do some caroling and things of that nature. So as you get a chance between services and meals and all that, pop on over there to the front of the ALF and enjoy that. Okay? Anybody else? Look at that. We beat last meeting, and I think we're done at 2:28. Well, blessings as we head into this Advent season. May the Lord prosper you, and may you experience the joy of the season. Thank you.